everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Hawk Talk. We're your hosts, Hillary Moberg
and Dallas Mitchell.
And our guest for this week is Pam Rudolph, who was selected as one of the honorary captains for the football game this weekend. So Pam, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, what you do at DSU.
I am the office manager at the DSU Heritage Foundation, and I'm originally from Wisconsin, and I followed a boy out to Montana, and then worked in Yellowstone Park for 30 years before I moved to Dickinson.
So working at the foundation as the office manager, you've been there for 10 years now. What are some of the duties that you do, and how have those duties kind of changed over time?
Oh, wow. I work with Ty. We are responsible for pretty much all aspects of the scholarship process. I oversee the student workers, which is one of my favorite parts. I'm just trying to think. Let's see, I process all the donations that come in, and my very favorite part probably is events. I assist with events, pretty much all of the events. Yeah.
So why is helping with events kind of your favorite thing you get to do for the foundation?
Oh, I think I get to cook, which I love to cook, and feed people.
Love to eat it.
Yeah, right. I feed people. Plus, I think it's just rewarding and fun to see people having a good time, and that you contributed to their enjoyment and their fun.
So you had mentioned you're not originally from the area. You came from Montana. How did the journey from Montana to Dickinson kind of look like for you?
It was a rough one. My mom passed away, and then 3 months later, my husband died unexpectedly. And 9 months after that, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And my son and daughter-in-law were in Austin, Texas with my granddaughter, and so they were trying to get back closer to Montana, and they had an opportunity to buy an oil field company with some friends of theirs from Montana Tech. So I'm like, I don't want to. I was from Gardner, Montana, and it's 50 miles from the nearest interstate, and it's just a long way from anywhere. So it was a great opportunity for me to be close to my family. Plus, with my family being in Wisconsin, Dickinson went from being only 10 hours away, where Yellowstone was almost 20.
Oh wow!
So that was really, really good too. So yeah, that's kind of it's kind of. Oh, I forgot too. I had come over here for an interview with DSU, and I came in the morning. It was probably 9 or 10 o'clock, and I had planned on pretty much taking a few months off. This was October 25th. Planned on taking a few months off and maybe starting in January or whatever. And I pretty much started at 1 o'clock that afternoon.
So they roped you right in.
Roped me right in,
and here you are 10 years later.
And here I am. Yes.
So I knew you'd be a good pick.
Apparently, right.
So you mentioned your favorite thing to do with the foundation is the events, which I kind of expected because I've seen how much you like putting those on and being part of them. But what is your favorite event that the foundation puts on?
I think it's a toss-up probably between tailgating and Yule time, and again, it's the watching everybody enjoy themselves, and just being a part of that enjoyment and sharing DSU with our guests. So it's just plus I like to feed people.
Very good. So then, when you were asked to be an honorary captain for the football game this Saturday, what was your reaction, and what did that mean to you?
I was very deeply touched. I cried. Okay, I'm getting all choked up now too. It's a huge honor for me that I would be, even considered, but much less recognized as an honorary captain. I don't even,
Hard to put into words.
It's really hard to put in words because, yeah.
And then the game on Saturday is a pink out game for breast cancer awareness. So what do you feel is important about bringing awareness to that sort of thing?
I will tell everyone the key to any type of cancer is early detection. Get your mammograms. No breast cancer in my family at all. And the thing that helped me was early detection and screenings. I mean, I got my screenings regularly, and I can't tell women enough how important it is. I started my cancer journey in Bozeman, Montana at the Cancer Center there, and I completed it at the Edith Sanford Breast Center in Bismarck. And just wonderful people, caring, loving, just get your screenings. I can't tell you how important it is. So.
It's good to have kind of people who care for you through the journey, especially since you moved from Montana to Dickinson, where you didn't know too many people and everything. And
it's a scary thing, You reach a comfort level with your caregivers, and so moving was kind of traumatic for me, and the Sanford Clinic in Bismarck just made that transition that much easier, and just really, really good people, good people. So
we're glad you were able to get that care and get the early detection, and now that you get to be part of spreading awareness to people and encouraging them to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Really
it's I'm 10 years cancer free.
Oh wow, congratulations.
So that's really exciting for me, and again, it's just that early detection. So can't stress that enough.
So kind of going back to the tailgate, I've heard a lot of rumors from people. You wake up super early Saturday morning and you cook your food. Are you kind of excited that you have a different role this weekend at the tailgate, being the honorary captain and kind of getting to relax just a little bit?
I don't know that I can do it. I don't know that I can, give up my, I'm kind of a control freak. I'm not sure I can do it. We'll see what happens. Because I like, seeing everybody and serving food and, bossing everybody around. And, so.
Over the years, have you had a favorite tailgate theme or food item that you've done?
Oh, boy, I don't know. I like the wings, and I don't know. I just love every tailgate.
Everyone.
I just like to do them. So
they're all pretty great. So we have a few fun questions that we are going to ask you, that we ask people on the show. So first one we want to know is, what are some of your favorite things to do in your free time, some of your hobbies?
Probably spending time with my family and friends. I have 2 grandchildren, Maddie and Knox, and we all have kayaks. Oh, fun. So we take our kayaks and throw them in and go fishing at Camel Hump Lake or over at Indian Creek, and camping. I don't hunt as much now. I'm kind of the camp cook anymore if I do go. And I'm just trying to think, pretty much just the spending time with family and friends and being in the outdoors.
Oh, very wonderful. So then, where is your favorite place you've traveled, and would you go back again?
I loved San Francisco. We went to Big Sur, I can't say it, for a conference when I worked in Yellowstone, and it was so much fun. Lombard Street and the Seals and Monterey. I really liked Mexico, and I definitely would go back to both of them. They were
especially
both
in the wintertime here, right?
Oh, absolutely.
A little escape from the snow on the ground in October.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our last question and our most favorite question that we're going to throw at you today, what does DSU mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. I came here at a very hard point in my life, and I was pretty much absorbed by the foundation and DSU overall, and people that I considered coworkers became family, and it just means so much to be treated like that, and to be I guess the word I can come up with is absorbed, you know, just treated like family. I love working with our board, with our donors, with I love my coworkers and our student workers, and I just feel very, very fortunate that when I came to Dickinson, that people were just so friendly and accommodating, and just took me under their wing and accepted me. So I love being here. So
it's kind of crazy whenever we ask people these questions, it's like the same answer. So it's kind of cool, you know. I think Dickinson is known for its family environment, and it's I think it's super special and amazing that everyone answers it the same way, because it's just, you know, what DSU is all about.
I talked to a prospective parent yesterday, and she said, well, if I were going to choose, why would I come here? And I said, it's a family. Your daughter will be absorbed. She was looking at the TR Honor Scholarship Program and possibly playing basketball. And I said, she will be, again, that word, absorbed into a family. And the classes are small, very intimate, in my opinion, very good professors. We love President Easton, you know, so yeah, the culture is amazing here. It's just a really good place to be.
Yeah. Well, Pam, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I've had the privilege of working with you. This is my 4th year now.
Oh my.
So that's pretty crazy. But I've gotten to work with you at the foundation pretty closely with some of the projects that you and I do, Yule Time scholarships, that sort of thing. And it's just been an absolute pleasure. So I'm very excited to see you in this honorary captain role. And I also want to thank you on behalf of the entire foundation and celebrate your 10 years with us. We've really enjoyed having you, and thank you for keeping us going all this time, at least past 10 years. So thanks again for coming on.
Of course.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So stay tuned for an on-campus interview right after this.
Welcome to the 2021-2022 school year at Dickinson State University. The DSU Heritage Foundation is excited to bring the Blue Hawk Scholarship Fund to the DSU campus.
The Blue Hawk Scholarship Fund is comprised of your general and sport-specific giving, named scholarships, advertising, sponsorship of athletic programs, endowments, and program greatest needs support. Made possible by you, the Blue Hawk Scholarship Fund and the DSU Heritage Foundation will award over $700,000 in athletic support for the 2021-2022 school year.
Donate to the Blue Hawk Scholarship Fund today.
Visit us online at dsuheritagefoundation.org and help support Blue Hawk athletes in the classroom, in competition, and in our community.
Come soar with the Hawks.
Whenever you're ready. All right, you ready? Okay. Thank y'all in the studio, and I'm Jacob Marley, here with
Steve Easton.
There we go. So this is my first time actually in the president's office, so thank you for having us.
It is. Well, you come to our meetings in that.
I know, I
That's
know.
in the other one. 2 offices away. Okay.
But hey, if you could just like tell us, obviously, like, yeah, you're Steve Easton, but like, where you're from and what you do here at DSU.
So I'm from Dickinson. I've been back here for about almost 3 years now. Serve as the president. I'm also an alum. Graduated in 1980 with a degree in accounting.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm kind of from North Dakota, and kind of actually I'm technically from the same state you're in. 'Cause I was
Really?
actually born in Pasco, Washington.
No way!
Yeah.
I did not know that. How much?
My dad graduated from Dickinson State and then went out on a teaching job in Pasco, and I was born toward the end of that year.
That's really cool. I didn't know. So how long were you out there?
Like 3 weeks, and then we moved back to North Dakota.
Wow, that's actually
Yeah.
crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But no, if you could just say, like, so for people that don't know you as much, you know, I mean, obviously you just shared a fun fact, but do you have any other fun facts about you?
The one that I like to have fun with is I ask people to guess where I was married. My wife and I have been married. Oh boy, I better not get this.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna show
86. All right, 86. So that makes 35 years, right? 35 and a half.
Yeah.
35 years and counting.
Mm-hmm.
But when I ask people where do you think I was married, and the answer is, what do you think? Where do you think I was married?
In Dickinson?
It's a very good guess.
That is a solid guess.
The correct answer is Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
So
Did you do one of those like short marriages?
there was no Elvis. There was no Elvis. It was actually in a Catholic church with, I always point out, 4 priests were at this wedding, but it was in Las Vegas, about half a block from the Las Vegas Strip. There's the Cathedral of the Guardian Angel Cathedral, and
That is awesome.
That's where I was married.
Awesome. That's
So
cool.
here's an interesting trivia, maybe the people watching can guess this. There's another faculty member at Dickinson State who is also married in Las Vegas, and also is still married to the person that this person married in Las Vegas quite a while ago. So 2 long-term marriages started in Las Vegas.
That's actually really cool.
So
Small world.
That's all I got for fun facts.
Hey, I like that. That's a lot of fun facts for me. But so obviously being the president, that's a lot. So kind of, could you like tell us like what your job entails, and like what is a day-to-day like for a president?
The president is ultimately responsible for basically everything that happens at the university. So there's some things that are obvious, which is academics. You know, I mean, so one of the persons that reports to me is the provost, Dr. John Miller, who is the provost and vice president, and so he has ultimate responsibility for everything academic.
Yep.
Then Les Wetsock is our new chief operating officer, and he has responsibility for buildings and grounds, for accounting, for IT. All of those people and others report, financial aid and others report to him. Then there's the athletic director, who has that's Pete Stanton,
Pete,
and so he also reports to me. And then the DSU Heritage Foundation director, and then Chris O'Brien, who runs the Theodore Roosevelt Center, reports to me. I think that's all Melissa Wells, who works in this office. I think those are the people that report directly to me, and so those are the kind of various functions of the university. So
that's a lot of
so I try to help raise money for the university.
Yeah.
I try to help keep us in compliance with accreditation, and you know, you have a little bit to do with everything.
So. Oh no, you have more to say?
No.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I
Jake.
was kind of going to switch it, so like kind
Sure.
of more of an interesting question. So with all the schools you've been to and taking into account their mascots, which mascot do you think would win?
So do I count the schools I've worked at too? I mean, or just the
We
ones
count
I-
it. We'll allow it. We'll count it. Yeah, go.
All
for
right,
it.
so let's go through. So I went from there are a couple we can eliminate pretty easily here, right? I mean, because I went from Dickinson State, I studied accounting here, and then I went to law school at Stanford. Stanford's off the list because Stanford technically has no mascot.
Yeah.
So
Is it
you
a
know
tree?
that whole tree
Yeah, it's a
thing.
tree.
I mean, that
It's a
whole
cardinal.
tree thing is technically the band's mascot. That's a really long story. This is a Dickinson State video, so we're going to take Stanford off the list right away. All right, so my community college alma mater was, I'm going to stick just with colleges. I'm not going to go back to high schools. My community college alma mater was technically that was in Minnesota, the Northland Northmen, which is really never made any sense.
Yeah.
They're now the pioneers, but we're going to take them off the list because they can't, Northman, that just means somebody that lives in a cold, snowy place, so that's not
true.
very tough. All right, so I worked at the University of Missouri. They're the Tigers. They're a candidate, so let's keep them on the list.
Hey, that's a good one.
That's a candidate, right? A Tiger. I was at Wyoming, which is the Cowboys. Cowboys are really tough.
I take a Tiger over Cowboy though.
So you're gonna take the Tiger over the Cowboy. All right. So we got the in the elimination game. We got the Tigers against the Blue Hawks. Now, at first blush, you'd say, Tigers are pretty tough.
Yeah.
But
are we talking about Buster
Blue Hawks? A lot of people don't realize this. There actually is a bird called the Blue Hawk. The American kestrel is sometimes referred to as the Blue Hawk. It's the smallest of the bird predator species.
Yep.
It's a feisty, clever little bird.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and let's not forget this, it can fly. So you got to go with the Blue Hawk, don't you? I mean, because how is a tiger going to take on a Blue Hawk, right?
That's true.
Tigers are tough, but the Blue Hawk can just fly away, come back in for an attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to go Blue Hawk at the end of the day, don't you?
There it is, folks. There's the Blue Hawk.
But so I'm going to challenge you when you put this on air. I want somebody to show the American kestrel. It's a cute little blue-colored bird. So good. I want an image of the American kestrel, which is also known as the Blue Hawk, because it's not a mythical bird.
Mm.
I'm not even going to talk about that awful university in Lawrence, Kansas, which has something called a jayhawk, which is a bird that does not exist. If you're from Missouri, as I was for a while, you hate people in Kansas. So I'm going. What do you think? I'm going with Blue Hawk. What do you think? You're going to go Tiger over Blue Hawk? No, you aren't. You can't take him.
In like a boxing ring, I take a tiger,
A Blue Hawk can fly.
He can, but if he couldn't fly.
But he can. He can.
That is true.
I'm going
that
Blue
is
Hawk.
true.
I'm
All right,
going
yeah.
Blue Hawk.
Hey,
Okay.
I go Blue Hawk too, though.
All right.
So obviously we're in this amazing office. There's a lot of artifacts in here. What is something that means most to you?
As my wife would point out, it's overcrowded. It does. Obviously, the things when you're a parent, the things that mean most to you are stuff that's related to your kids.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's actually a bit of a neat Easton section over here.
Is it right over here?
It's his. There it is. There's his TRHLP. Because he graduated from Dickinson State also.
Awesome.
Also, the one of the founders of Hawk Talk, Nate Easton, my son who was in school here. That's an interesting. He always credits Coach Fleury with it, but the student version of he was the first person in your role as one of the students. So and that's a picture. That's a picture of the other two of our kids when they're really little. So those are pretty precious things. But from a Dickinson State standpoint, I got a couple things I want to show you.
Let's go look at them.
All right. So first, this is my dad's Letterman jacket.
Wow.
Which when I after my illustrious Dickinson State Blue Hawk golf career, and I am technically a Letterman. I think the school would probably deny it, but I actually do have two golf letters from my junior and senior year. So I actually wore that for a while. Now that's tough to imagine, isn't it? That I could fit into that thing. So that's pretty fun. And then another one. I know Hawk Talk is an athletic show, but another one that's kind of precious to me is Josephine M. Easton. That's my grandmother's diploma from Dickinson State. My grandmother was a teacher in one-room schools in western North Dakota, and one of the fun things about this is she was one of the original in a sense distance students. She earned a degree at Dickinson State mostly by coming during summer sessions while she was teaching school, and she actually graduated a year after my dad did. So a year after her son, who came the traditional full-time student route. So she would have been in her 40s when she graduated. And I just think that's kind of a cool story.
That is incredible.
I mean, we do, we're still trying to make our education accessible to people.
Yep.
Those of you who are Dickinson State students now, you see those we have the full-time students in the classroom, and then there's often a few that are accessing remotely, and in a way, she was one of the first of those, and that's my other grandmother in that picture, and she too was a Dickinson State student. So we have 4 generations of our family that are Dickinson Staters, including some of the original. Dickinson State was founded to produce teachers for Western North Dakota, and both my grandmothers were in that, and they both taught in one-room schools.
That's incredible.
So those are fun. I got
a lot of DSU history.
We got a lot of DSU in our family. We're a very proud DSU family, and so those are some of them. I mean, I don't know if those are the best, but
no, that's a lot. That's incredible to me. But then, so like our next question, so obviously like athletes receive scholarships, and they kind of like bring a lot of different diversity to the school. So like in your opinion, why do you think scholarships are so important?
Well, at the end of the day, we try to keep, it's really important for us at Dickinson State to keep your costs of education as low as they possibly can. We want people to graduate from Dickinson State with as little debt as possible, or ideally no debt. If you can work in the summers, and a huge part of that is scholarships. And so it makes, we have relatively low tuition and cost of attendance to start with, but if you can eat into that with scholarships, it makes it possible. First of all, it makes it possible. There's some people that can't do it without that, without support. And it also, it's going to having access to scholarship dollars and a low cost of education is going to change your life when you're in your 20s and 30s. It's going to have a huge effect on your life, as opposed to some of the schools we compete against in athletics, or some of the schools we compete with for students. People are making a serious financial mistake in my judgment. So it's a huge part of keeping that cost of education reasonable. And it also it's a way to keep connected to your alma mater. I mean, that's good too, but the fundamental thing is, you were helped by somebody when you went to Dickinson State. I mean, I was. I had a Maud Kleinfelter scholarship, who Kleinfelter Hall is named after. So that helped me go to Dickinson State, and we want to just pay that forward.
Awesome. No, that's incredible. And so obviously the final question that we ask all the Hawk Talk interviewees, what does DSU mean to you?
Well, I watch a lot of Hawk Talk. Sometimes binge watch it, because sometimes I get behind. I have to admit, I sometimes binge watch it, but I watch a lot of Hawk Talk. And so I don't like to give the same answer everybody gives, but I have to tell you, the answer that you get is the best answer, which is Dickinson State is family. That is a double meaning for me, because it's my family school.
Literally, as we see,
I mean, it's my family school, but ultimately the most special thing about Dickinson State is that people care about each other here. Students care about each other. Faculty care about the students care about the faculty. That's we want each other to succeed. This is not the kind of place where we come and we claw at each other, to try to climb on each other for success. That's not what Dickinson State is. It's a place where we want everybody to succeed. It's a really special place. I mean, it changes people's lives and does it at a reasonable rate.
Well, no, hey, thank you so much for your time, President.
Thank you.
I really
thank
appreciate
you,
the
Jacob.
interview.
Good to see you. Good to see you. This is a great member of our Dickinson State family here on the Student Senate and doing all kinds of other great things. So
thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Yes, no, thank you. And of course, my name is Jacob Marley here with President Easton. We're out.
Thank you, Coulter and Jacob, for your on-campus interview. Now time for the recap. Up first, we have basketball. Men's basketball had an exhibition game in Minot this past weekend. They unfortunately lost 83-52, but they will be traveling to Bellevue, Nebraska this weekend for games against Iowa Wesleyan College and Bacon College. Women's basketball will also be traveling to Bellevue this weekend for games against Bethany College and Midland Lutheran College. The first home games for both the basketball teams will start in November for conference games. Up next is cross country. The men's team team plays 6 out of 12 teams at the Mount Marty Invite. The women's team plays 6 out of 11 teams. And the NSAA conference meet is happening here in Dickinson next weekend on November 4th. Men's start time will be at 11 a.m. and women's start time will be at 11:45 a.m. And this will be at the Hart River Golf Course. Football this past weekend was a bye week for the team, so they had a chance to rest up for this weekend's game against Valley City, which is a pink out game. The tailgate starts at 11 a.m. and the game starts at 2. For volleyball, they lost against Dacotah State and Bellevue this past weekend, but they have home games this weekend against Viterbo and Waldorf, Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. for both days. Friday's game is a pink out for breast cancer awareness as well.
Awesome. Then with the rodeo, they were in Storm Lake, Iowa this past weekend, and the women's team placed first out of the 7 teams there, and the men's team placed 4th out of 9, so congratulations to them. Good to see that after their break. Wrestling is getting ready for their season to start, and they'll have their blue-gray duel coming up in November, which is always a fun time. A lot of the athletes like to go watch, cheer them on. And then for fine and performing arts, we mentioned this last week, but this weekend is finally the weekend that they are performing their play, The Haunting of Hill House. It's going to be Thursday through Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. If you want tickets, you do have to reserve them through their Eventbrite website because it is going to be in their backstage theater and seats are limited. So be sure to check that out and go support all of our teams and our athletes and our performers who have stuff coming up.
A lot of good stuff coming up for the Blue Hawks, for
Busy
sure.
time on campus, but it's good to see. Then we want to thank you to all of our sponsors for keeping us going, and to all of you watching at home. We really appreciate all the love and support. Be sure to check out our social media accounts, our Instagram at DSU Foundation and our Twitter at DSU Heritage. And with that,
Hawks are up.